Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 12. Happy Thursday. Today, I have BioSteel and Malibu rum. Honestly, Malibu makes anything taste better. Plus, I'm getting electrolytes. Hello. Cheers. So, hope everyone has an amazing Thursday. Okay, so I missed last week, but I was in Orlando, so I have a bunch of stories, which is good for the podcast. Mm, so good. Before I begin, I think this is a great time to talk about the creepy guy at the trade show. I just remembered this right now. So I was like, oh, this is perfect. I'll do it right in front of you guys. So here's how it starts. Before the trade show opens, I was sitting outside, like waiting, and I'm sitting down, I'm on my phone doing emails, and I have my lanyard on and it says exhibitor. And this guy comes, man, I'm gonna say pushing 70, like late 60s, you know? Anyways, I'm sitting down and he's like, oh, is anyone sitting here? And it's a huge, like, marble slab bench. I'm like, no, no, no. So I continue back on my phone, trying to like answer emails as much as I can. And he's like, oh, so how's your day going? I'm like, oh my God, I have this small talk. I'm so fucking busy right now. Um, my day's going good. I see he has a buyer badge, so right away you have to be nice, right? I'm like, yeah, good. You? He's like, yeah. Oh, what are your products? I'm like, I short of God, just come to my booth. So I'm like, yeah. So I sell this, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. So I do the whole spiel, and he's like, oh, really? Oh, okay. Then he starts like talking about his like personal life, where he was born. He lives in New Jersey. So he's an Egyptian guy that moved to Jersey 30 years ago, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, for sure. So we get into like a conversation, and now I'm just like, okay, well, forget it. I can't do any emails. I'm literally trapped. And as I'm like replying to somebody like super quickly, he chucks in, so Samantha, no, no, didn't even tell him my name. It's right there on the fucking lanyard. So he's like, so Samantha, can I get your number? And I hear it. Oh, I ignore it. First of all, buddy, like there's a time and a place, and that's not it. And also, like, no, you're pushing 70. Anyways, oh my goodness. So I pretend I don't hear it. I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta go. So I got my phone. I'm like, hey, I gotta go. And he's like, okay, I'll see you later. I'm like, mm-hmm. So I go to my booth. I'm working. I'm gonna do this live on the spot so we can save some time. Go to my booth. We're working, and doesn't he show up? I'm like, well, there's that motherfucker. He said he was gonna come, and he found me. And it's not a huge trade show, but like you really have to search to find someone. So I'm like, oh hi, ha ha ha. And anyway, so he actually ends up placing an order, believe it or not a huge one, but doesn't matter. So I'm like, okay, at least like, he's creepy, but I got an order out of it. Anyways, and then he takes my business card and he looks, he's like, that's your card? He's like, picks it up. He's like, I'm gonna text you. And I'm like, walks away. Oh yeah, but he texted away because that number belongs to this cell phone. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm not even kidding. I think it's the iPhone 7. Like it is so outdated. It's from 2019, okay? So outdated. Um it has been dead in my drawer for months and months and months and months because it's associated to the network from my office, which we are no longer in. So every time I open it, it's just like this pop up comes up and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so thankfully, he's been texting that number if he's been texting at all. So as I said, it's been dead in my drawer. So I'm charging it now. So I'm going to turn it on. And if there's creepy ass text messages, we're all going to discover it at the same time. All right, let's cross that off the list. Creepy guy at trade show, done. Okay. Now, the next thing on my list, I don't know. I don't even like if this offends anyone that's listening to me that's over 18. I don't care. It's concerning to me. And anyways, every single time I go to Anaheim, okay, obviously there's Disneyland. Yeah, Disneyland there in California. So people are like, well, Disneyland, Disneyland. Not the children. The children I understand for sure. The parents with the children, mm, got it. You got to bring your kids. It is what it is, you know? It's the adults that are there without children, the adults that are wearing the Disney gear, the adults that have passes and go multiple times a week, a week. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like that falls under the failure to launch thing. Like, what are you holding on to in this Disney fictitious world of like Disney, like, and Marvel and all those stupid things that don't really exist? Like, I get it. You go once to experience it, but people who hold like passes as adults, they go all the time, wear the clothes. Uh, no, it freaks me out. So, anyways, now this time I was in Orlando and I just land, I'm in the Uber and I go to him, I'm like, oh, so where's like the closest beach to here? He's like, ooh, yeah, it's like 50 minutes from here. I'm like, oh, Cocoa Beach? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, well, I don't really have any time to go, but oh, I didn't realize it was that far. He's like, yeah, you don't want to go there anyways. I'm like, why? I'm like, is it polluted? He's like, no, 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 it's shark infested. Like, there's so many shark attacks there all the time. Like, it's not safe to go in like past your knees. And even at that, like, it's risky. I was like, oh my God. It's like, but anyways, what you're gonna want to do is go to Universal Studios. I'm like, what? And he goes, and then Disney. So there's this part in Disney. Oh, the phone just turned on. And I'm like, right. Disney, Universal, got it. But what else? What else do you thinking? Well, no, but there is this restaurant in Disney. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. So I didn't know what to say. I'm at this point, I'm bamboozled. So it's like a freaky thing in Anaheim, and it is a freaky thing in Orlando where adults just go to Disneyland all the time. So, anyways, I guess at this point I'm just used to it. I don't know. So I get home and I've been home since Saturday. And anyways, I pop on, what is it called? A Toxic Love Story on Netflix. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's like a toxic love story basically, but it's like a pretty messed up show. Anyways, in the show, the beginning of it, this girl starts dating. This isn't a spoiler alert, don't worry. It's just like a little blip in the story that I was like, what? She meets this guy and he's a US Marshal. And she's like, oh, I always wanted my fairy tale, ever after love romance, blah, blah, blah. And I found this guy and he was like my Prince Charming and he really loved going to Disney. And they were in California. And so yeah, like he would go 2, 3 times a week. And so when we went to Disney, he was telling me how he loves Belle. And like I reminded him of her. And then eventually when we moved in with each other, we bought a place, a condo like downtown Anaheim. So it's like a 10-minute uh drive to Disney if we wanted to go, because we had passes and we'd see the fireworks every night. Okay, pause. The fireworks, like whatever, whenever they had them, that's cool. But to move somewhere close enough so that you can go 3 times a week as adults with zero children, um, like it's a no for me, dog. It's a no for me. It is. That would give me the biggest ick if I met a guy and he's like and obsessed with Disney. No. Like, no, like there has to be a psychological reason behind it. Someone chime in here. What does it mean? Did your parents divorce and you're constantly chasing the happily ever after? Girls too, but guys, it's like no, no, equally weird. Guys and girls who are obsessed with it that much as an adult, like no. Anyways, very, very creepy, very much the ick. Wow, let's cross that off the list. Oh yeah, speaking of icks, here's another ick. I just saw on Instagram before coming on here that Fauci's diary has been exposed in like government files. Dr. Fauci. You know that piece of shit that was like pushing and shoving the quote unquote vaccine during COVID, and telling everyone that he was gonna that you would murder your whole family if you didn't get it. You know that guy? So, anyways, it's going to be interesting to see what comes out in that quote unquote diary. But why is a grown ass man having a diary? Okay. And I don't want to hear it from the people who are like, it's healthy to journal. Yeah. Yeah. And again, I a guy journaling, it's a little bit of an ick. No. They go to therapy, cool, no problem. I think that's super mentally healthy and amazing. And if you want it and need it and can get it, then do it for sure. But journaling and diaries, I guess, I don't know, is that the same thing? It feels like the same thing. But anyways, so he has a motherfucking diary. And another murder doc I watched this week was this it's on Hulu, but anyways, it's about this girl. Friends Like This is the documentary that it's called. It was pretty good. Anyways, these two girls killed their best friend just because like they annoyed her, like insane, stupid teenage stuff. Um, but the cops were like, "Yeah, we're gonna talk to this one because like we read her diary," and I'm like, so this murderer just journals down in her diary and does all like I don't know. Are people just not afraid of things coming out? Like, whatever happened to just keeping it inside, picking up the rug, sweeping everything under it, and calling it a day? Like, why are you writing such incriminating things down? Dr. Fauci, you dumbass piece of shit. I can't wait to see him burn in hell where he deserves. Yeah, I could say that because he wished death upon me. Am I vaccinated? Absolutely not. Am I super happy about that? Absolutely. I don't have one day of regret about that. But anyways, so diaries, ick, Fauci, girls, scratch. Okay. So this is like kind of a cool thing. So I go to dinner one night when I was in Orlando and I go to sit at the bar and it was like this really nice steakhouse and it was like a vibe and there was this woman sitting next to me. It was like 7:30, like let's calm down vibe. It's not like a Buona Notte back in the day. Not that, well, yeah, all of my listeners besides the younger ones will know what I'm talking about, but it was like a nice vibey restaurant. So whatever, I'm sitting there, this woman sits beside me or already sitting there and she's like complaining about the people beside her being loud and the people beside me were being really loud, so it kind of like we scooted together in the middle. Plus like I decided that I don't think I like eating at the bar anymore because if you do make friends with people around you or even if not, it's such a close proximity to have like spit from strangers on your food. And I didn't think I was such a germaphobe, but I really am. Like I ordered steak and Brussels sprouts and like you know how like the plates take up so much space was on my wine glass, water glass. So I'm like trying to protect it from all these people's like spit and hair flips and all this shit. Anyways, disgusting. But it was a really good food. Anyways, all these details, are they important? No, but now you're involved in my night. Anyway, so this woman, I get to talk to her and I thought it was so cute. She was like, yeah, so I'm gonna call it a night. My husband, and I'm like, oh, is your husband working, or where's your husband tonight? And she's like, oh, he's working. She's like, yeah, I don't like to eat at home alone, so whenever he works I come here and then I make sure I'm home when he gets back because I can't wait to see him. I was like, what? How long have you guys been married? And she's like, oh, like 35 years. I'm like, and you still quote unquote can't wait to see him? And she's like, no, like he's my best friend. Oh my God, he's so amazing. He's so funny. He's so like, oh, I just love being around him and I can't wait to see him when he gets home. I was like, oh my God, you just like, you kind of just made me believe in love again. Not that I was like so angry or sad or whatever about love, but like, you don't really think about it. You kind of hear breakup stories and bad stories left, right, and center. So kind of like puts a bad taste in your mouth sometimes. Or like for me, like when I'm going on dates and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I wasted a night in an outfit and makeup on this. Like that's probably why I feel the way I do. So meeting her, I was like, oh my God, you're like, that's so sweet. And then she went and showed me pictures of him. And, then she's like, oh, these are my grandkids. And this is my son. And she was so proud, so proud. And I was like, so I said, I'm like, so you do you have any other kids? And she's like, yes, I have a daughter. Well, I had a daughter. And I was like, oh no. And she's like, yeah, she was born with leukemia and we found out when she was 4 and she passed when she was 32. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And she's like, no, no, no. So then she goes and opens her phone and she showed me pictures of the daughter, when she was a kid, her cutest little outfits that she had, like literally a baby, outfits that she had, and then she goes into the funeral folder and she's like, my daughter at 32, she never got to get married or have kids, and she was my princess, so I wanted to give her a princess send off. So I show me the pictures and I'm like holding back my tears. It was just like, it's so hard to see and hear a mom talk about losing a child. um so then she's like, so this is like the casket is in like a horse and carriage with glass walls, and and it was like a huge send off and flowers, and we released doves, and it was beautiful, and she was in remission 4 times, and when she on her last bout of it, she was like, I don't want to do the treatments, it's too painful, they're too strong, like I want to try something else. And she was an adult, and I couldn't stop her, I couldn't tell her yes or no, she had to make her own choice. And there was this clinical trial that she wanted to do, and I was like, no, like don't risk it, it's back again, and apparently it's like super strong, um like please. And then anyway, so she ended up doing it for me, but it cost her her life. I was like, oh, no, 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 you can't say that. Like, she did what she felt, like you said, she was an adult, she felt that that's what she wanted to do. And like, unfortunately that's what happened, but like, no, this isn't on you. And she's like, oh, I know, but I just miss her and I love her and she was so beautiful and she was so amazing. And anyway, so she ended up apologizing to me. She's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't even know like why I'm talking about this. I'm sorry. And I stopped her right there. And I was like, you know what? I do that too. Like, I had mentioned that my dad passed away, and it's been 2.5 years. And on Christmas Eve, it will be 3 years. And the first year for me, it was shock. So it didn't really register. So for me, it feels like it's a year and a half ago. Okay. Anyways, so when you're talking about something, I don't give a fuck if it bothers anyone or if they're annoyed. And if they're annoyed about hearing, I'm not talking about a 6 hour long rant and cry fest, but if I want to tell a little baby story about my dad, thank God I surround myself with normal people that don't say, like, oh God, here's another story about her dad. Oh God. Cause like, karma, man, that's all I have to say is karma, karma. Just wait until the day happens for you, and you're going to see that it's not the cutest thing to be that type, to have that type of attitude. Anyways, so I stop her in her tracks and I'm like, no, Faye, listen to me. I'm so happy and honored that you shared her story with me. Like, she is beautiful. Um, she was so smart. She had like 3 PhDs. Anyways, I'm like, you should be so proud of her. And like, thank you so much for telling me her story. Like, and she starts tearing up and she's like, oh my God, I think there was a reason that I met you tonight. I'm like, honestly, me too. Like, you like the excitement about your husband, the love that you still have like vibing energy. You're out eating at a bar. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just, I don't know. She was such a nice, super nice woman. And I was like, I hope you dream about her tonight. And she's like, oh my God, I hope I dream about her too. And then we hugged a couple times. Yeah, a perfect stranger at the bar. Okay. We hugged, and then she left, and then that was it. Anyways, that night was my last night in Orlando, and I go back to my room and I go to bed and I wake up tossing and turning, finally fall back asleep. And I have the craziest, like super real dream of my dad. And here's a story about my dad. So buckle up, everybody. No, anyways, um, a lot of you know this, but when my dad first passed away, I had 4 or 5 very, very vivid dreams that were like insanely real. Um, and one day I'll say that story because they're actually the craziest dreams. And then I didn't really have any dreams after that. It was like the last dream was like a send off, and I didn't have any other dreams after that. And it's kind of made me sad, but it almost made me feel happy with that last dream because it felt like he like moved on and wasn't stuck in between. If you believe in that or not, I do. I don't care if you don't. Anyways, except for that last night. So I was talking about her daughter, and obviously it made me think about my dad, but I've thought about my dad many, many times. I've cried about my dad many, many times, and I still didn't dream about him. But that night I had a dream about him. And so the dream was I was sitting in his house and my sisters were there, and we would always like sit around his kitchen table and shoot the shit and joke and eat dinner and have wine and whatever. And so we're at his house, and then the doorbell rings, and he gets up to go, and he's there for a while, and he has his like hand on the door, and he's like poking his head through, like trying to hide who's at the door. So we're like, what the hell's going on? Who's there? So we all get up and we're like, Dad, what's going on? And he's like, oh, and like I just see this arm coming through the door, and he's like pushing her, and he's like, oh my fucking God, this girl. And I'm like, what? Who is that? He's like, oh my God, I slept with her once and she's obsessed with me. She keeps showing up here. Oh my God, this girl's fucking crazy. She's a wacko. And in my dream, we're just, because that was my dad, by the way. Like when I tell you Charlie Sheen to the max. So in my dream, my sisters, we were like belly aching, laughing. And then I woke up and I was like, oh my, like I think I woke up like chuckling, and I was like, oh my God, that was a crazy dream. And then I was like, oh, I'm so happy I just had a dream with my dad. I'm like, oh, okay, go back to sleep. And I went back to sleep and the dream continued. I don't know. It's very hard to have a continuation dream. It's only happened a few times in my life, and this was one of them. And then the dream, he just like, he's running in the backyard, not running, but like walking in the backyard, and he's going to his garden that he always used to go to. And I just remember like, it felt so real. Anyways, and I woke up and I was like, whoa, that was really cool. So I get ready for the airport. I'm getting ready, call my Uber. And I don't I don't usually pay attention to like the details except for like the price and the car, because like I need to see who's picking me, like what car is picking me up. So anyways, I was like, oh nice, I got a Mercedes for Uber X, like woohoo, look at this little win. So it picks me up, and the guy uh yeah, he helps me into the car with my bags and blah blah blah. So I'm sitting down, and then he cranks up the music, and it's all music that my dad used to listen to and I listen to too, like old school rock and like some like Marvin Gaye and like all like but stuff, and then like Genesis. And anyways, I was just like, oh my God. So then I was like, this is crazy, this is so weird. And then I opened up the Uber app to see like, to make sure that I put like the right terminal for my drop off, and his name is Gerald. That's my dad's name, was my dad's name. And Gerald playing the music, and I was like, oh my God. I immediately, like without even like being able to control myself, I just like I started tearing up, and I kept going like, oh my God, stop, 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 stop. He's gonna be like, what freak is in my back seat? And I'm like, whew. So I like collected myself and get out, and I just felt like compelled to tell him. So I was like, hi. And he was so nice, picked my bag out, brought it up onto the curve close to the door, like a little extra than usual. And I was like, I don't know if you're a person that believes in signs or anything, but my dad's name was Gerald, and too. His name was Gerald too, and he listened to the exact same music that you're playing. And the second I got into your car, I was just like overwhelmed with like everything. And obviously, I didn't tell him about my dream that I had the night before, and he was just like, wow. He's like, really? Wow. And he just smiled at me. And he's like, have a great day. And I'm like, yeah, you too. Anyways, it was just like such a nice sign and really cool. Anyways, so that's my really cool story and that really cool woman that I met. Um, all right, now we're at the airport. Okay. So I'm there hella early. Okay. Hella early. I could have had 2 meals back to back, including digesting. um, anyways, so I'm there and I'm like, ugh. So I'm sitting at my like near my gate, but now I'm doing like work emails. I'm catching up, I have my headphones in and I'm listening to music, and I hear Samantha Gordon, please come to gate blah blah blah. It's an emergent, or if we're urgently paging urgently. Okay, I'm gonna emphasize urgently paging, and I was like, oh God, what? So I pack up my laptop, and if you You know how annoying that is? Packing up a laptop, putting it back in, closing all everything mid email that you were doing, blah 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 blah. So I go over to the gate and she's like, "Hi. Um, so there's a family and they're requesting if they could sit together." I'm like, "Mm-hmm." And she's like, "And so since you're sitting alone, would you be willing to move two rows back, a window seat as well?" Okay. I'm gonna pause here for a second. Okay. I don't love window seats, but it was like closest to the front that they had. And actually, I think my colleague at work booked me. And it doesn't matter because I was in a preferred seat. So if you are a frequent flyer, you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. So you have business class, and then you have the wall, and then it's literally the first row that's right there. So you have your TV up on the wall, but you have a shit ton of leg space. Okay. They're bigger seats, a little bit wider, preferred. You pay for them, whatever. But I love that I didn't care that I was in aisle, or sorry, window, because there was so much space to get up and walk around without even having to like disrupt my neighbors. So it was a great seat. And anyways, I had that seat on the way back, so I knew exactly what I was rolling with. Okay. So I go, 2 rows back. I'm like, is that still preferred? And she's like, yes, it is. I'm like, but you still don't have that like that wall space. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, I have a question for you. Is it a mom and two kids, or is it you know, uh two parents and a kid? And she's like, actually it's two parents and two kids. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, listen, I am not heartless. I am not evil in any way, shape, or form, but I'm pretty sure that mommy and child and daddy and child will survive not touching skin to skin for a little baby 3 hour flight. And I said this to her, and she's like laughing, and she's like, she literally does the zipper mouth sign, like zip. And she's like, trust me, girl, I understand everything that you're saying. I'm like, no, but if it was a mom traveling alone with two kids, no problem. I wouldn't even have this conversation. Let's switch the seats. It's annoying for me. Whatever. But it's literally not the case. So then I'm standing there, and they're both blinking at me, and she goes, "You don't have to say yes. You actually don't, like it's your prerogative. If you don't want to say yes, you don't have to. I promise you." And I was like, "Oh, now I'm gonna look like that asshole." And she's like, "You trust me. People say no all the time, and it's totally fair. So I get it." And I was like, "Ugh." And then I just kept thinking, karma, karma. What if one day, da da da? I don't know. So I go, "Oh, okay." And she's like, "Oh, actually, I can't even change your seat yet. It's too early. Can you come back at 12:50?" I'm like, "No, man. Like, are you kidding me? I'm gonna come back here and make it extra easy." I'm like, no. So I'm like, whatever. So I walk away. And I'm not that rude. I'm not a Karen. I walk away, sit down, la la la. And I hear them paging a bunch of people. So I was like, oh, okay, whatever. Then a little bit later on after that, "Samantha Gordon, can you please come urgently to the thing?" And I'm like, oh, here we go. Whatever. I already know what it is. So now it's a new girl, and then one of the other girls was there. So whatever. So this new girl's like, "Hi, I have a request." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." And she's like, a man is asking if you wouldn't mind switching seats for him. You're in the same row, but he wants your window seat." I'm like, but what is this? Request Wednesday? Request Saturday? What the fuck? You just sit in the seat that you were given, and that's what it is. And if you can go up and be like, "Hey, are there any empty seats?" "No, we're a full flight." "Okay, sayonara," and you go sit back down. You're not going up there saying, "Can you go and draw people up to the desk, make them think it's an emergency, but it's really just a request for me to sit in window seat?" Little did this motherfucker know that I would prefer aisle. So I said yes because it was in the same aisle. So but I'm just like, are you for real? And then so the other girl's like, wow, you're a godsend. You've said yes twice now. And like, I wish people were more like you. Like, wow, that you're just so easy. Thank you so much. I'm like, no problem. Again, like I said, I prefer the aisle seat. However, now I know that I'm in the aisle seat and this man is now in the window seat. So I'm thinking I'm going to see him obviously when we get on the plane, and I wonder if he's going to thank me. Let's think. they were American or Canadian. I think, yeah, they were Canadian. Canadian. I'm like, oh yeah, for sure. They're gonna say thank you for sure, for sure, for sure. And they should. So I sit down and I see them come in, and it's a man and his daughter 19 years old, okay, maybe 20. And the daughter is sitting in the window seat and he's sitting in the middle. And I'm looking and I'm blinking at them and I'm doing like, hello, hello. I sound so psychotic. But like, it's like letting someone in into your fucking lane. Give the wave, signal thank you. Now you've literally asked me for my seat. Say fucking thank you. Now, let's put $50 on the table. What do you guys think that they said? Oh, yeah, that's right. They said nothing. Absolutely nothing. And it's just like, it's so gross. So if you are one of those people that go up and do your little requests of seat swapping, at least say fucking thank you. Like, say thank you. And go out of your way, even if it's not the same row. Go over, oh, thanks so much for switching so that my family could touch skin because God forbid we separate for 3 hours. Thank you so much. That's what you have to do. Like, I can't believe I'm even teaching manners 101 over here. But anyways, it was so annoying. And yeah, disappointing. So scratch that. I think that's all I have to complain about. Oh, okay, wait. And then one last thing. So I don't know if you guys, whoever follows me on my real Instagram account, I have a podcast account and then my Instagram account, Sam Hearts Puma is my Instagram account. Anyways, I foster kittens and I had these 3 girls that I had since like the end of June. Set them for a full month, almost a full month. And oh man, so I had it on Sunday when I got back the next day. I had someone who was coming to adopt one of them, and I was like, oh, okay, let me spend the night with them, cuddle, spend the morning with them. So she was coming at 11 a.m. She came with her mom, and I was like, oh, here's your girl. Oh, so sad. And in my head, I'm like, at least I have the other 2, and like slowly but surely they'll get adopted off. The mom's like, well, surely you want 2, like, you want them to have a friend. And I was like, obviously that's my dream if they could adopt 2, like keep them together. And I was like, honestly, I have 2. That's what happened to me. I was worried what it was going to be like to have 2 animals, 2 cats. And if you have one, there's literally no difference from 2. But you just feel less guilty when you leave the house because they have their buddy with them. And she's like, oh, that's true. I'm like, you're cleaning one litter box for one, you like, it's for 2, it's the same thing, literally the same shit. So yeah, like if you want another one, like I can show you the other 2. So I bring them out, and then the mom's like, oh, let's just adopt all 3 of them. Guys, they were adopted in a blink of an eye, all 3 of them gone. I had no mental preparation. I was tearing up, putting them in the little carriage, like the carrier. And I was like, okay, obviously you literally can't ask for a better scenario for all 3 to be adopted at the same time. So like it was a blessing on blessing on blessing. But oh my God, my thing when people always say like, how do you do it? Well, it sucks. It really sucks. Like I actually have a heart and I loved them so much. And even my boys loved them. My cats, not humans. They ended up loving them, playing with them and licking them. And so like right away after they're gone, I'm like, I'm cleaning their room. I need to get rid of all evidence because like, it's so sad. And then the boys kept going in the room after and like meowing and searching for them. I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this again. Like, I love it, but it is so heart-wrenching. Anyways, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be one of those people. So cheers. Thank you guys for listening. Sorry for missing last week. But subscribe, follow, like, and comment. Thank you. And have a great rest of your week. And weekend is gonna be sunny. So get out there and tan that ass. Bye, guys.